Good morning, friends. Hello, good morning. How are you this morning? Hope you're doing all right. Hope that things are finding you on this beautiful spring day where there is warmth in the soil and there is goodness in the world. Hey, Jamie, how are you this morning? Good morning, Donna. Hey, Barbara, how are you? Glad you're here. Vicky, good morning. John, great to see you. Good morning, everybody. Hello, everyone. Good to see folks coming by this morning. Hope you're finding something good and beautiful to do on this beautiful spring day. That we'll get going here in a second. So, good morning, friends. Hello, hello. See one or two more folks coming along and we'll get going. So, hello, everyone. All right, so just by way of news this morning, that some of you may know, a dear one in our church, Donald Wood, he's at Charlton and he is on comfort measures. He's at the hospital. So if you could, please keep Donald and Sandra in your prayers. He had just had his 95th birthday, and he is coming to the end of his journey. So I hope please hold them dear, and as they've been dear ones in our church for many, many years. So good morning, everybody. It is the 9th day of May on this 11/11 Thursday. I'm glad you're with us and I'm glad you're here. I hope that you know that this day has for you something beautiful in it. I'm a big, I'm an oral learner. It's one of those things that there's different ways people learn. Like there's different ways that people pick up information. Some people, they need to read it and they can find things in reading and they can discover, and some people need to hear it. And then if you're told a thing, you can figure out and have it explained to you. You can learn it, you can figure it out. In fact, when I was often in school, one of my, few degrees, one of them in history, I actually took very few notes. That what I found note-taking actually took away from my ability to learn in the classroom. That when I could listen to a professor and hear what they were saying and kind of link those things inside of me, and I could actually remember things better. And that note-taking was more just to prompt the particular things that I'd heard, because I could hear it and I could hold on to it. Now, that doesn't make me special. Doesn't make me. It is a way in which I learn. It's the way. And some people are show me people that you do a thing and then you do that thing and then you can then kind of do the monkey thing where you kind of recreate the thing there's, depending on who you talk about, there's 9 different intelligences, some people say, of how people not just learn, but how people are smart. That, I often think about my dad, who was one of the, he was not a particularly learned guy. Didn't, he read a little, but not a lot. But he could figure things out. He had an intelligence in him, a kinetic intelligence, in a way of building a barn or doing things that and had on board a genius that I'll never have. And I to this day can look at some of his artwork, or I can look at the buildings he built, or I can look at the way in which he would work and fix something. Or there was a kinetic intelligence in him. It was a bodily intelligence. He could move through the world. Probably why he ended up being a state champion in pole vaulting. He was not just athletic, but there was this way in which it was his very intelligence in the world. It was, and we all have this. And now the world will tell us that only some of these are valuable, or only some of these have worth, or only some of the ways in which you were made are things. Some of you, some of you will get to be, that summa cum laude experience of being in, of being, wicked smart, as we say, or and being lauded for that. And other intelligences, I think, pass us by. Some intelligences are just not even seen as valuable. And what I want to remind you today is the value of all of your intelligences. The value of the way in which you do a thing well is actually the fingerprint of God. It's actually the fingerprint of the way you were made. It's the fingerprint of the very best of you. It is, and I don't care where you come from, or because here's the temptation, and I'm going to tell it to you. Here's the problem up front that we're wrestling with today. Because the problem up front is we're the first person to say that our intelligence doesn't matter, isn't important, or doesn't even have value in this world. We're the first person to say that our gift is because the reality of our existence is we are looking at the back of the rug. Now, what do I mean by that? We're looking at the back of the tapestry. When we look out from our experience in this world, we are looking out from, if you want to call it a tapestry or a rug. Each day is woven with particular colors and particular things. Each day, it's a very ancient image, but it still works for us today. Each day it creates something new and something brilliant in it. Something, some days are a little darker, some days are a little lighter, but as the kind of the shuttlecock of life goes back and forth, there is a tapestry that is woven in our life. And other people see that. Other people that maybe we've journeyed with for a while, like I just said, or as I just said, I can look at my father's life, and I can look at the things that he built and the genius that he had in some places that I don't have, and that I'll never have, that I always admired in him, and that I always, and I always will, his ability to put his hand to a thing and just master it and have it come to life. But the thing is he could never see that. He could never see that. He could never accept that. He could accept that he could do some things. He wasn't self-deprecating or anything like that. It's simply this notion that he could, that it wasn't particularly special to him. He didn't see that as particularly a particular thing. The fact that he designed, he wrote, from a piece of graph paper, he designed the architectural plans. He gathered the lumber. He built the camp, and then put the camp together, and then wired it, and then could do all of those things, and did all of those things. And yet at the same time, not just pound a nail, not just run wire, but did the whole thing. So, but he'd say, "Oh yeah, that's just what people do. That's just what you do. That's just what." Well, we all know that's not what everybody does. We all know that. Those are particular capabilities. That's a particular intelligence. But he could never see that intelligence. And just in the same way, and I'm telling you his story because I think it's a helpful one to, reflecting on it a bit, and you can kind of see this sense of our own story. Because when I see the front of my dad's tapestry, what I see is this incredible genius, this incredible ability to do things in the world, to have been a light in the world, and to do all sorts of crafty things, and the ability to I want to learn how to do this, and to go just do it by figuring it out and by actually doing it. He was what we would probably call a kinetic learner. Like he learned by doing. He learned by the bodily experience of the thing. Whatever it all is, and however it all unfolds. My point here, I hope you're seeing it, is that our curse is that we see the back of the tapestry, and that we can never really see our own genius. We can never really see the beauty of the thing that we are making in our life because of the fact that we're looking at it from the back. We're looking at it. It is presenting itself to the world, and we're looking at it from the back. And so my hope for you today, and my encouragement, is simply this: that if people in your life tell you, "Oh, that was amazing. That was great. That thing that you did, that was really special. I so admire X, Y, or Z," or whatever it is, say thank you. Accept it and take it in. Consider the fact that they may be seeing something in your life that you don't see. And if they say it about another person, consider they may be seeing something in another person that we don't see. That consider the fact that you'll never be able to see your own brilliance and your own genius, and you'll struggle. Our whole lives is built around a struggle to be able to actually see that which we know and we are good at. And many of us, it takes a lifetime to be able to come to that. My encouragement for you today is, and it's one of the reasons I wanted to bring us to the sanctuary this morning and offer you this little glimpse of beauty. Not my face, the beauty behind me, by the way, but offer you this little glimpse of beauty because of the reminder that it took all of the 9 intelligences, it took all of the gifts of God, it took all of the gifts of the world to create the beauties that you see. It took the imagination of a Tiffany to come up with these blues and these golds up there. And in fact, they can't make those golds anymore. Those golds don't exist in the world. They can get close to reproducing it, but nobody quite knows the technique that Mr. Tiffany used in his workshops in the beginning of the last century to actually make those. And so the brilliance of them have actually gone the way of the ancients, at least so far. There are people out there diligently working today, even trying to recreate those. And I would say that that's just true of you. There is a brilliance that you're bringing into this life. There is a beauty that you are bringing into this life. There is an intelligence, there is a capability that you're bringing into this life that when it's gone with you will never be able to be reproduced. Will never be, no one will ever get quite that shade of Jamie or Linda or Karen ever again. No one will ever quite get that true measure of the genius and the way in which your genius constellates in this world. And so, friends, like these windows behind me, let them shine. Now, even though you can't see it because, well, you're relegated to the back of the tapestry, let them shine. Let them shine into the world. Let them offer your gifts in service to things that are greater than you, and that when you do that, they will shine with the brilliance of God even more. Let yourselves occasionally, just occasionally, be admired by the people who love you and step into that admiration. That's not just a thing where you lay back and people just fawn on you and peel you grapes or whatever that means for you. It is the matter of responding to their kindness and their invitation. If they say, "Hey, do you wanna?" They say yes, because what they're looking for in that is not that you give them something, but that they get the chance to bask in the brilliance of the gifts, of the intelligences, the wonder and the beauty that you are in this world. In all of that this morning, I hope you will let that little piece of gold that can never be reproduced in this world shine all the brighter today. That as we this weekend come up to Mother's Day, and we're going to be celebrating Mother's Day at church. We're actually doing a Mother's Day church this service this Sunday. So please come and be a part of that. But more than that, there is this way in which that. When we talk, we can all talk about our moms and how great they are, or how lacking they were, or anything in between. There's plenty of conversation to have there, but to really talk about that, to talk about mothering and motherhood, and that idea of being loved as a mother loves, in this kind of idyllic way, the way in which this way that might the kind of the way that we imagine it might be perfect, is to know that even at its best, even at its finest moment, even at its most brilliance, when it encompasses all the right pieces and all the right parts, and the mercurochrome comes out at just the right moment to tend just the wrong scrape, and that where we are tended and we are known, we are loved, those highest and most perfect moments are but a shadow of the way in which God loves you. And that is why such brilliance and beauty has been placed in you, and aches to shine through you. That's why your gold and your blues in this world have been placed there, because the one who made you loves you and wants your tapestry to glitter in the world, and to be hung in the halls of heaven. Friends, my hope for you this day is that you come to know the brilliance and the genius that is yours and yours alone, and let it shine in this world as a gift to God. Peace and grace to you, my friends, and we will pick it up next week with another 11:11.